Welcome back. Time now for our second Formula 3000 race of the programme. From Hungary, the drivers are off to Spa in Belgium.
In every way, Spa is a true road circuit, and its variety of daunting high-speed corners include this one, the famous Eau Rouge. Top gear, 152 miles an hour, downhill left, uphill right, a challenge for any driver in any car, and in Formula 3000 it really sorts the men from the boys. Qualifying continued the championship battle between Nick Heidfeld, the new leader since Hungary, and Juan Pablo Montoya. There's Heidfeld absolutely on the limit, and here's Montoya, who went over it. He goes through this fast downhill left-hander, and it looks as though it's gone well, but then the tail steps out. The notorious bus stop chicane caused a lot of people problems as well. This is Gaston Mazzacani. And this is Cyril Sauvage. Local hero Kurt Mollikens was expected to go well on his home circuit, but he was delayed by this oil leak. He never managed to set a good time, he hasn't qualified, but Soil Ayari was a splendid third. Oliver Martini frightened the marshals with this bizarre incident. So the championship battle fills the front row, with new leader Nick Heidfeld behind Montoya.
I hope to make a good start again, and also if I stay behind him, it's a very, very long race, and it's difficult to tell what's going to happen here.
Just make a good start, first corner. If that doesn't happen, then you have to work from there, and I know I'm quicker than him, so just go out and beat him. Easy.
Lots of confidence from Montoya, but the cars are on their warm-up lap on this dramatic 4.2-mile circuit. There's the grid. Montoya and Heidfeld on the front row, ahead of Ayari and Alex Müller. Further back, Jamie Davis is 13th, Gareth Rees is 16th, Mark Shaw is 25th, but a great shame we've lost Kevin McGarrity. His budget is used up, he's not here, and Christian Horner hasn't qualified. 28 cars on the grid, the red lights are coming on, 4 and now 5. The run down to the first corner is always tight here. They're moving. Montoya has made a great start, and look at Thomas Enger coming through on the outside. Enger is right up to second place. On the inside it's Montoya. Enger is there in second place. Everybody funneling through the tight La Source hairpin and away from La Source and down towards Eau Rouge. It's Montoya who leads, but Thomas Enger has made an incredible start from 5th on the grid. It's Enger who is up to second. Nick Heidfeld is there in third place. Ayari and Rodriguez and Müller are following through, and as they go up the long drag, up to Les Combes, Heidfeld has Rodriguez on one side, Ayari on the other. The championship leader has lost 2 places, he's dropped to 5th. It's still Montoya in front, it's still Enger in second place. Up into third now has gone Ayari, Rodriguez has followed him through. Heidfeld pushed down to 5th place. Not a good lap, not a good first half lap in fact for the championship leader. We watch now, look at the white car coming up from 5th place, going all the way around the outside. That is Thomas Enger. The Czech has made a brilliant start, in fact briefly was nosing ahead of Montoya before Montoya took the inside line at that first hairpin at La Source and went into the lead. And Enger in second place, but Enger being challenged now by Rodriguez, and Rodriguez goes up to second. Rodriguez is second, Enger pushed down to third. There is Heidfeld being challenged by Alex Müller now, and Heidfeld doesn't seem to be on the pace. Enger there in third place with Ayari fourth on his tail. Ayari doing a tremendous job, but an even better job by the much less experienced Enger. Remember, he's still a newcomer to Formula 3000, took over Dino Morelli's drive, and Montoya crosses the start-finish line. Montoya from Rodriguez, there's Enger in third place, Ayari in fourth place, Heidfeld still holding off Müller in fifth as they come out of the La Source hairpin, go down this steep hill from second gear all the way up to top as they go down to the bottom of the hill, touching 150 miles an hour at the bottom, accelerating up, pulling the G-forces as they go from left to right over the brow. And it's now that Ayari must make his attempt. If he can be tucked close enough into Enger, he will get a run at him as they go up to Les Combes. This is the fastest part of the circuit. He's very close under braking. He pulls out, takes the inside line. Ayari is third. Soil Ayari goes past Thomas Enger, takes third place. Meanwhile, Heidfeld's pit crew are wondering what has happened to the championship leader. He's not as quick as he should be. We're watching Mark Shaw and Grégoire de Galzin arguing over the best way through Les Combes, and de Galzin going over the grass and Mark Shaw taking the more conventional route. Shaw stays on the tarmac and goes by. That's Stefan Sarrazin, who seems to have lost his front wings. I think he's got a puncture as well. Stefan Sarrazin going extremely slowly, but up the front they're going very quickly. We've got a three-car battle for the lead now. Still Montoya has the lead, but Gonzalo Rodriguez is really piling on the pressure. And Sohail Ayari, there he is in the yellow and white and blue car, has managed to extricate himself from the pursuit, and he is closing too. This is Oliver Martini having another spin at the bus stop. He manages to keep out of the barriers this time, gets back onto the tarmac, but that is going to promote Battistuzzi, who was following him. And now Heidfeld has started to get the hammer down. Heidfeld passes Thomas Enger. Heidfeld is on the move at last. Nick Heidfeld moves up into fourth place, pushes Thomas Enger down to fifth, and that is Alex Müller right on their tail. Alex Müller looking for fifth place. He is running sixth at the moment behind Thomas Enger. They're going through that long sweeping downhill corner, which is Rivage. Spa, always one of the most demanding and high-speed circuits that the Formula 3000 crews go to. This is Nick Heidfeld in slow motion, using every inch of the road and the curb at the bus stop. But here's Montoya. This is the leading battle, and they are so close. Rodriguez right on his tail. Ayari is there just with a grandstand view, and behind, look at Heidfeld being challenged by Alex Müller now. We seem to have lost Thomas Enger, and Heidfeld weaving around, and weaving behind him is Alex Müller. Tries to find a way round, but Heidfeld cannot afford to lose any more places. Heidfeld needs the championship points so badly, and he's holding off young Alex Müller. We're seeing what happened to Thomas Enger in a replay. There it is, Enger in between Heidfeld and Müller, spun at the bus stop, managed to get the car pointing the right way again. He is still going, but he's lost a lot of time. Now look at this battle for 8th place. Gareth Rees being challenged by his own teammate Jason Watt, number 4 and number 3, the two Denblar Avis cars, and Gareth Rees holding on to that place, but Jason Watt, who won this race here at Spa last year, pushing him very, very hard. This is a replay of Gonzalo Rodriguez nearly throwing it all away, leaving his braking too late, going into the bus stop, and giving Sohail Ayari a lot of rubber smoke in the face, but they've kept it together, and still Rodriguez very close to leader Montoya, and still Ayari not quite in touch, but watching it as they go so close to the concrete wall on the entrance to Eau Rouge, and using every inch of the curve as they come up out of it. There's Ayari in third place. Now a replay, what's happening between Watt and Gareth Rees. Jason Watt leaves his braking so late for the bus stop and takes that 8th place from his teammate Gareth Rees. Montoya needs to win this race if he's to retake the championship lead from Nick Heidfeld, but he's being pushed far harder than I think he expected. Not by Heidfeld, but by the Uruguayan Gonzalo Rodriguez, and Sohail Ayari within a second of Rodriguez in third place. Here's our fourth man, Heidfeld, who for the moment seems to have eased away a little bit from Alex Müller, but still Heidfeld not able to close on that leading group. Alex Müller in 5th place. Thomas Enger, here he is, still has 6th place, but Enger himself being threatened now. It's Marcello Battistuzzi who's getting up alongside him, just as the others did at the top of Les Combes, and once more Thomas Enger loses a place. Battles going on all the way down the field. Look, this is Jason Watt challenging and passing Oliver Martini for 8th place. There's Gareth Rees 10th, Thomas Biaggi on his tail in 11th. Then it's Nicolas Manassian who is 12th, Luckberger, Wilson, Couto and Jamie Davis all following through, and Rodriguez is in the lead. We've got a change of leader. Gonzalo Rodriguez is ahead. We didn't see what happened, but there is Rodriguez ahead. There behind him in number 1 is Montoya, demoted to 2nd place. Sohail Ayari still there in 3rd place, and we're seeing a replay. It was at Les Combes, and we don't know why, but for some reason Montoya arrived at Les Combes offline, left the door open. That was all Rodriguez needed. That's the Astra Mega team with Sam Boyle there, the team manager who run Gonzalo Rodriguez. Let's look at it from above, and you see how wide Montoya went. I would think that he must have missed a gear under braking coming into that corner. Whatever it was, Rodriguez is absolutely flying now, and indeed is extending this lead over Montoya. Montoya, perhaps somewhat disheartened, is losing touch with Rodriguez, and Montoya is coming under threat himself from the 3rd man, which is still Sohail Ayari. It's the first time that Gonzalo Rodriguez, the Uruguayan, has led a Formula 3000 race, but already he's got 1.5 seconds in hand and he is driving simply brilliantly. A great drive on this most demanding of drivers' circuits at Spa, and Gonzalo Rodriguez is a man you're going to be hearing a lot more of. Only 0.4 of a second between Montoya in second place. Oh, and Rodriguez has a big moment there, coming down the hill through Rivage. As Rodriguez put the power on, he nearly lost the back end. Two thick black lines as the rear wheels spun, but he held it together. Montoya, Ayari, second and third, and that's Dominic Schwego, who stopped. His teammate Alex Müller still running in fifth place behind Nick Heidfeld, and Bruno Genqueira stopping as well. They're all dropping out like flies now. This is a replay of Oliver Tiki getting it all wrong at that tight, steep downhill right-hander at Rivage, running very wide all over the gravel. Gareth Rees trying to hang on to 10th place under real pressure from Thomas Biaggi it is, and Gareth gets it completely wrong at the bus stop, and Biaggi is able to dart behind Rees as Gareth sorts it all out, and Gareth is pushed down to 11th place. And now a battle for second place, it seems, because while Rodriguez pulls further and further away in front, now Montoya has a real challenge on his hands from the Frenchman Sohail Ayari, who is about 3 lengths behind as they go up to Les Combes once more. There is Nick Heidfeld, and if Heidfeld stays there in 4th place, and Montoya can do no better than second, as Sam Boyle continues to watch his boy out in front, if the result remains as it is, then Heidfeld is going to hang on to the lead by just 1 point. Rodriguez on his final lap now. It's as long as anybody can remember since we've seen a Uruguayan in international motor racing here in Europe, and certainly no one can remember anybody being as effective and as determined as this young man, Gonzalo Rodriguez. He comes through Fagne on towards Stavelot, where the new section of the Spa circuit joins the old historic part of the public roads which make up the old Spa circuit. He comes through Stavelot now. He's just got the flat out uphill section and then the tight bus stop chicane between him and a historic checkered flag. This is Blanchimont, flat out, slightly left-handed, about 155, 160 miles an hour in a Formula 3000 car, and now the dart down to the bus stop chicane. On go the brakes, he turns tight left and then tight right, using the curve as he comes out, and now the pits are in sight, the checkered flag is in sight, and Gonzalo Rodriguez raises his right fist in the air, the checkered flag waves. A great victory for Uruguay, for Gonzalo Rodriguez, and Montoya just hangs on to second place from Sohail Ayari, who is an excellent third, and in 4th place, and therefore still leading the championship, Nick Heidfeld.
A new name at the top of the list, the ever-smiling Gonzalo Rodriguez will be a popular winner for the Astromiga team. Britain's best this time, Gareth Rees in 12th, Jamie Davis was 15th. Gonzalo becomes this year's 6th different Formula 3000 winner. It's a close, enthralling championship. And second place not enough for Juan Pablo Montoya. Heidfeld stays top of the Drivers' Championship, but there's now only 1 point in it with 2 races to go. That's all for this week. Next time we go transatlantic as the GTs head off to America. The Formula 3000 Championship, though, stays in Europe. We have action too from Sicily. We'll see you then.
And from motor racing to this year's motor show, a full report next.